Hello guys, this is Caesar Creates and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to the Elm Hill City Zoo, where we'll be creating a habitat for the Black-Tailed Prairie Dogs. This is actually the second habitat that we are creating for the animal from the new North America Animal Pack. Last time, a couple of days ago, I uploaded a video with the North American beaver, and for me it kind of made sense to add the prairie dog next to the beaver, as they are both rodents. So now we'll have like a little rodent house in our Elm Hill City Zoo. The prairie dogs would be perfectly fitting to our small mammal house that we already have in our zoo, but as I told you guys before, we don't have any additional space in that house to add them, so I decided to build like this additional building for the rodents of the North America, and this basically will be our like North American area in here. So we'll add more animals from the new pack in this area of the zoo. But yeah, today we are adding the prairie dogs. I am super excited for them. To be honest, the prairie dog was a bit of a surprise for me. Like, I didn't expect it to be added in the new North America pack. I was totally expecting animals like the beaver, the cougar, the moose, the California sea lion, but the prairie dog was a bit of surprise. But I am super happy that it was implemented in the game. This is actually the smallest animal that is available in the Planet Zoo right now. And yeah, let me just tell you that it is very small. And I love it. I love small animals. I love creating habitats for small animals, because you can simply go a bit more detailed. Enclosures don't have to be so big. So you can focus on those small areas and make something interesting in them. And this is basically what we'll be doing here today in this habitat. So as you could see, we already expanded the building that we actually built in the last episode. By the way, if you haven't seen the last episode with the North American beaver, definitely go and check it out. I will put the link down in the description and on the screen. So yeah, we expanded this building, we added the additional viewing area, the same as for the beavers. I wanted it to look totally the same, but with some twists. So if you watched the latest episodes, you remember that in this building we had like an underwater viewing area for our beavers, and today, obviously, the prairie dogs aren't diving animals. I'm not even sure if they can swim in the game, but I still wanted this viewing gallery to be interesting for the guests, so I decided to position the terrain and the height of entire enclosure more or less on the eyesight level of the guests. The prairie dogs are so small that I thought that it would be cool to, watch them in that way. So the guests don't need to lean down to see them up close, they are just on their level. I also will build like a cave in here, so the guests will be able to see when they will sleep, obviously. I will also add some lights to it, like in this orange red color, so in the night it looks really cool. Of course, you'll be able to see it all on the later stage, but yeah, the idea for this viewing gallery was that the animals will be slightly higher, so they are on this perfect level, so the guests will have very nice viewing opportunity to see them and see their entire habitat. To achieve that, I actually had to cover bits of terrain with some stone pieces, because you can't, perfectly align the terrain to the barrier or to the walls. There's always some, holes or something is sticking out. So at first I used this Asia stone, but later I will be changing it to the matte wall pieces. And I think it would be looking even better than it is right now. After being done with the viewing gallery or viewing area, I went on to do some terraforming, do some gentle slopes, because again, this habitat will have two viewing opportunities for the guests, one in the rodent house in this new building that we just built, and the other one will be like a viewing terrace in the upper part of the enclosure. So yeah, you will be able to see it in a second. My idea for this habitat was to try to mimic the natural environment of the prairie dogs. They live on prairies, obviously, and like these deserty areas in the United States. So I decided to build like a canyon or something like this with like a prairie grass areas and so on. So yeah, this is what I went for. So obviously I wanted to use a lot of rocks to create this canyon feeling, so I didn't want to use any barriers. I just surrounded the whole enclosure with different kinds of rocks. It was mainly the desert rocks and savanna rocks, because you know, when you mix them you have this like very cool color variation, which I like. I also used the fake rocks, the fake aquatic rocks, and I like changed their color into the color of the desert rocks. There is this really cool blueprint in the workshop that you can download, and you know, you can copy the exact, you know, color codes of the stones that you want to match, you know, your fake stones to. So if you want to download it, I will put the link down in the description, because it is really helpful. I already like used it several times here on the channel, but I'm still like amazed how someone was able to, you know, get those exact colors, and it makes my life so much easier, so I wanted to share it with you guys. Last time we also created a shelter for the beavers, and this time I expanded it a bit. I made it bigger so that the prairie dogs could also use it. So I didn't show it because it was basically doing the same thing that we did last time in the last episode. So if you saw it, you will probably know how we built this shelter. So yeah, I expanded it a bit to have a place for the prairie dogs, and then I surrounded it with different rocks because I sort of wanted to hide it. I didn't want to make it, you know, so visible, especially in this lower viewing gallery. I didn't want the guests to, you know, have like a viewing for the shelter. So I really focused there to build like a detailed rock formation. So I really paid attention of how the rocks will look like, because it is like a main thing that the guests will see through this glass barrier. So I really wanted it to look good. And then I went on to creating the other viewing place or viewing opportunity for the guests, like this viewing terrace, where when the guests have this really nice you know, overview of the entire habitat. So this was made like a terrace or something, and I surrounded it with the temple pieces, and I added this really nice glass barrier. So the guests will be able to see the entire habitat and all the details. And yeah, this is very similar to the things that we did with the beavers. We also had like 2 different viewing opportunities, and this is something that I wanted to repeat in here. Then I went on to adjusting like an entrance to this shelter for the prairie dogs. I used the same like sliding down doors as we did for the beavers. So this time it is a bit closer to the viewing platform, but I still think that it looks cool and totally okay that the guests are able to see you know, the prairie dogs entering and exiting the shelter. They will have this really nice wooden ramp that they will be using to go in there. And in general, their like shelter, or their part of the shelter, will be rather small, because they are so tiny that they don't need too much space in there. But again, it will be very similar to the one that we've built for the beavers. So yeah, the prairie dogs, even though I told you guys that it was a surprise, it was absolutely the most pleasant surprise, because I was so happy when they were announced that they will be added. yeah, they're super adorable, they are cute. I loved how that they can live in those large colonies. You can have like a lot of them, actually I think 12 or something, but in a real life they live in those large colonies. So if you are playing in sandbox, you definitely can make a colony of the prairie dogs and they won't complain. I love that they are so tiny, as I told you, and also I think that their model look very cool. The only thing, if I could be a little nitpicky, is I quite don't like their eyes. I don't know, there's something like weird about their eyes because they look very like dead. They are just in this black, a bit matte color. So yeah, some of animals in Planet Zoo, they have like those most beautiful eyes, and they look somehow weird on the prairie dogs. I don't know why, but other than that, I don't have any more complaints. I think that they look so cool, and I love how like lively they feel. They are running around the habitat a lot. There's, even though I have only like 6 of them, I feel like there's like 20 because they are simply everywhere. So yeah, I really like them. I love their sounds. I like their behaviors, animations, how they are like standing up on their feet and, you know, watching for some danger or something, similar to meerkats actually. And also they have this really nice pose when they sit, because they can also sit on their bums and they just sit and chill. So yeah, they look so like funny doing that. You'll be able to see it actually in my cinematic shots by the end of this video, because I caught one of them like sitting just and looking what other prairie dogs are doing. So yeah, it is kind of funny, but yeah, they're so adorable. And yeah, I am super happy that they were added, because actually, as I told you guys, this is the smallest animal in game, and I think that in the future maybe we can expect more of those really tiny animals, and I am all for that. Just imagine like smaller kinds of tortoise, different species of rodents like guinea pigs or rabbits or hares, or maybe some lizards. Yeah, that would be so cool. And yeah, as I told you guys, they are tiny. Our enclosure feels a bit too large for them, but then I decided that in the end I would like to have a big colony of them, so why not give them a bigger habitat than they need to. But I'm sure that easily it could be like twice smaller and it would still look good. But let me just tell you that even though it is a slightly bigger enclosure, it would look so cool at the end. So while I told you guys a bit about the prairie dogs, I actually built the cave for them. With the viewing opportunity for the guests, so the prairie dogs will be able to go in there to chill, to sleep, or to like play in there or do their thing, and the guests will be able to observe them still through the glass barrier. And yeah, I think that it looks super cool. At first I thought about creating some tunnels for them because they are digging animals and they create those very complex underground tunnels for their colonies. So I thought about making something like this, but it was simply too hard because we don't have so many like those tiny pieces, and also we had to remember about the traversable area, so I couldn't make it as small as I wanted. So I decided to go for a cave, and I still think that it looks really cool. And actually, let me tell you that the traversable area of the prairie dogs is just like wonderful. They can like walk over and around those small rocks from the aquatic park. They can like go very closely to the walls, so there is none of the problems with them when it comes to traversing their habitats, where like for example we had so much problems with our elephants, but they don't have any problems. They can even climb on some structures that I've built for them that you'll be able to see in a second. So yeah, I am super glad that they have the traversable area. That is so well made. After finishing the cave, I went on to detailing a bit the viewing feeding platform for the gas, so I added some logs. We will do more of the work later on it. I will of course show you the finished product in the cinematic shots. After that we added some plants up the rock formation to make it look more like finished and to add some greenery to this habitat. After being done with that, I actually will start to work on the habitat itself. I mean the main part of it, the part where the animals have access to. So at first I added the feeding platform. I was actually a bit surprised to learn that they are eating from this wooden arboreal platform, I think it is called. So I figure out that I will add it, but I will give it like a small twist that they actually dig out the ground under it, so they are going under it because they are digging animals and they probably would do something like this. So I added like a support beams to this platform and like a space under it so they can go potentially under it. They cannot in the game, but in the real life I'm sure that they'll be like hanging out under it. Then I added all of the enrichment items to this habitat, and then I figure out that I still want to have some tunnels in this enclosure because when I think of prairie dogs I automatically think about the tunnels. I don't know why, so I wanted to give them some. Those will be like very easy and tiny tunnels, nothing too complex. I had to test it a bit at the beginning. I found this like circular pieces from like Africa theme sets of building pieces in the game, but they couldn't like walk through it. And then I changed it into some wooden pieces. I think it is from the Asia wood that they are actually curved, so you can create like a perfect circle, and then it works so they could actually go under it. So I created those two tunnels with those Asia wood pieces. I also added like two of those barrels or something that have those also that they are empty inside, so they look a bit like tunnels. They're obviously not usable by the animals, but I thought that they look cool, and you know that the animals can have some additional like openings or some shelters inside of them. So yeah, I also wanted to give them that because I just thought it looked like a part of the prairie dog habitat basically. At first I wanted to cover those big tunnels with like regular rocks that we have in the game, but I didn't quite like it, and then I remembered something that I saw in the videos by the content creator that I already told you guys about. His name is Leader, he's also from Poland, and I remember that he used a lot of those temple pieces, those small temple pieces, and changed their colors into something that is reminiscent of the rocks, and they made those really nice rock formations. So I totally wanted to try it here and use it for my tunnels. It was the first time I was using this technique, and I loved it because I think it looks so cool, and actually animals are able to traverse them, so they can go up on those tunnels, and they actually do, so you'll be able to see it in the cinematic shots because they hang out on those tunnels, they can go up there. So yeah, it worked very well, it looks perfect, and definitely if you are looking for pieces to use for like small detailed rock formations in the game, definitely try those temple pieces because they are just perfect for it. After being done with those tunnels, I will add a lot of grass to this habitat. As I told you guys before many times, I love this new grass from the Africa pack, and I also wanted to create like an actual American prairie in here, so I had to use a lot of those like slightly dry grass. So yeah, I will be adding a lot of this grass in this habitat. I also will be adding a lot of small rocks and a lot of small rock formations for our prairie dogs. I am not too sure, to be honest, if the prairie dogs would destroy this grass or not. I know that they eat seeds, so probably if it had some, you know, little seeds, they will eat it, but they are digging a lot, so I'm sure that this might be a problem. If they dig a lot in this habitat, they might destroy some of this grass. I saw like both types of prairie dog habitats in zoos when I was doing my research. Some of them had actually a bit of foliage and you know, different plants, but some of them were so plain with only sand, dirt and so on, and some stones, rocks, that I was a bit confused of what approach do I want to like, what do I want to go for, and then I decided to like make it a bit deserty but add a lot of this grass to make it look like a prairie. And if it is actually impossible with these guys to have so many grass, let me just imagine that this habitat is a new habitat in our zoo and they didn't have still a chance to destroy all this foliage. But I am so hopeful that they wouldn't do it and that they can have this nice like grassy terrain and nothing will happen. They still have so much like places to dig in this habitat that I'm sure that they don't need to destroy our grass to, you know, play in sand and dig their tunnels, but they are just animals and they don't understand it. So yeah, I'm hopeful that our grass will be like safe in here. Okay, while I am adding all of this grass, a lot of rocks, logs, stones and so on, let me thank you guys for the amazing feedback under my last video with the beaver. I am so amazed. I never had a video that was performing that well. We had so much views, so much comments, so much positive feedback that, yeah, my mind is blown. So thank you guys so much for it. It really means a lot, and I would like to welcome all the new subscribers to the channel because we had a lot of people joining. So thank you guys for clicking this subscribe button. It really means a world to me. And yeah, welcome, and I hope that you will like my future videos, that you will like what I will do with the North American animal pack and all the animals. And if you are watching this video and you are not yet a subscriber of my channel, please consider to click that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot to me and would let you see all of my future videos so you won't miss them. And let me thank once more Frontier for providing me with the DLC code. I love this DLC, so I am so grateful for that. And as I told you guys, this is so major for me that I'm so happy about it, that they saw my little channel. So yeah, thank you Frontier again, this is just amazing. So, as you can see, this habitat is very detailed. We are adding a lot of different rocks in different angles. We are adding a lot of foliage, like those grasses, different kinds of grasses, small bushes, some logs and so on. And some of you actually comment under my videos that you wouldn't have patience to build like that, and where I find the patience, and that my, you know, attention to the details is just mind-blowing. So actually thank you for those comments. I am like a patient person by nature, I think. I am very calm and patient person, so this is something like natural for me. I don't force myself to be that, you know, detailed and so on. I just sit there and do my thing and try to think about all of the positioning of the rocks and all the foliage, so it looks the best from the, you know, viewing perspective of the guests. And for me it's nothing like too unusual, but I can totally understand that some of you might not have this patience, might not be, you know, putting so much effort into building those habitats, and I totally get it. Like, everyone has different style, everyone focuses on you know, other things, and actually playing the franchise mode here on the channel now is like a huge difference and something that I actually enjoy, because I like focus more on management or adding new animals or on talking to you guys, explaining what I'm doing, than on, you know, designing, making sure that everything looks perfect. So even though I need to fight with myself a bit not to make those videos too long, because I'm still looking on how everything is positioned and making it look nice, and I still want to finish every habitat in one like episode, so I cannot make them 3 hours or something. But yeah, this is like a nice difference for me, so I really enjoy our franchise mode series, even though it is still a challenge for me to, you know, build and talk at the same time, not to make any mistakes while talking and make it all entertaining for you guys. So yeah, those videos, even though I make them faster because there's no editing, there's no like making the speed builds, like making the voiceover, the cinematic shots, it takes a lot of time, and in those videos I don't need to do it. But actually I think that making a franchise video is actually more demanding for me, because I need to stay more focused, I need to like be aware of the time and talk at the same time while I'm building. So yeah, I am a bit like tired after every episode, but I still really enjoy making them, and I see that you guys like them. So yeah, I'm super grateful for that. And if you haven't seen that series, and if you are not into franchise, I totally get it, but if you are into it, maybe give it a go, because I think it is cool, it is really nice. Tomorrow we'll have actually a very nice episode, so if you want to see it, definitely stay tuned. And also what you don't know, maybe I am super open to using your blueprints in my franchise mode series. So if you have any blueprints you would like to share with me, so I would use them in my videos, definitely send it to me on Discord, or just name the blueprint using my name, Caesar Creates, or the name of our franchise zoo, the Moss Valley Zoo, so I'll be able to find it and use it. And I would like the blueprints from you to be in this like style of the little cabin in the woods or something like this, because we are building in taiga biome and mountains basically. So I would like to go for this style, a lot of logs, a lot of woods, and yeah, if you have those blueprints, or if you want to create something especially for my zoo, I am all for that. So definitely send those things to me and I will use those things in my zoos, especially the shelters or the shops. Those are very welcome, or some decorations. I am all for using them. So if you want your creations to be featured here on my channel, you are super welcome to send them to me. As you can see, we are still working on our habitat. We are adding a lot of still natural parts like stones and grass and so on. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I actually added a heater in one of those, tunnels, so that the animals can go there and use some heat if they want to. This is something that a lot of zoos do, especially for animals like that. They like to lay in, heated spaces. So I added the heater. I also changed the plaster pieces, the Asian stone into matte pieces, as you could see. So it looks a bit better now. I will also create my own plant using the Spanish moss. I like this dry plant that I will add in different places, and I think it looks really cool. And then I will focus a bit on the things around the habitat. I will add a lot of, shrubs and different foliage on the roof of the viewing area, and also on the rocks around the habitat. I will also do the inside part of the shelter. But while doing it, let me give you guys some fun facts about the Black-Tailed Prairie Dog. So the Prairie Dogs, they stand at only 30 centimeters height and weigh about 1 kilogram. They reside in complex burrow system. Entrances are easily spotted by raised mounds of loose soil. Those mounds allow animals for a higher point for their lookouts to spot predators, so they act very similar to our meerkats that we already added to the zoo. Small close-knit families called coteries compose of base of prairie dog social structure. Coteries consist of an adult male and one or more adult females and their young offsprings, and a group of neighboring coteries form a prairie dog colony. They have a very complex communication system. They provide a detailed descriptions of the predators by varying the frequency of their barks. For example, the prairie dogs can communicate not just that predator is a human, but also whether the human is short, fat, skinny or tall. So this is super interesting. Prairie dogs are the keystone species. They play an integral role in promoting animal and plant diversity in Great Plains. Without them, life on the plains would be vastly different. Feeding on grasses, herbs, roots, seeds, prairie dogs keep vegetation short, fast growing and full of nutrition. Their digging actions churns up the soil, allowing for more fertile plant life. This draws other wildlife like pronghorns, bisons and rabbits to the area where the prairie dogs basically live. Unfortunately, we don't have any more time for more facts because this video is coming to an end. So let me just give you guys some information on what we'll be doing right now. We'll be finishing this building. I won't show you everything, but some starting work, and then you'll be able to see more in the cinematics at the end of this video. I will also implement like a small exhibit in here because it will be basically a rodent house, so I wanted to have like one more of those animals in here, something also from the America, because we can simply name this building the North American Rodent House, so I thought that it could be, for example, a round-tailed squirrel or American pika. And yeah, we'll do some more work on this building here. As I told you guys before, we'll add some plants around this building. Of course, I won't be able to finish this entire area here. I think that we'll do it after, you know, adding all of the American animals in this area. We won't add them all right now at this point, but at least 2 or 3 of them will be in the near future here on the channel, so definitely stay tuned for that. But yeah, we'll definitely need to finish the area around this building very soon because I don't want to simply leave it to go back to it in the future, because it would be hard to go back to it simply. I want to do it now. So yeah, we'll focus on this area around this building in future videos, I think. But yeah, in this video I will also work a bit on the actual viewing area. I will change it a bit. I will add some wooden pieces and also this mats walls that I really like, so I will do it here. Of course, you will also be able to see my custom billboards and for the prairie dogs in the cinematic shots, so if you want to see them, definitely stay tuned. Okay guys, this is all that I have for you today. I hope that you have enjoyed our little video with a little prairie dog here today on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos in the future. I would be so grateful if you haven't subscribed yet to click this button. It would really mean a lot to me. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up down below, ring the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video, and comment down below if you enjoyed this video or if you have any recommendations for my future videos. Okay guys, thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!
fun.